Have you ever made a snap decision that you, I don't know, immediately regretted? Or maybe you wondered why your gut feeling was just so wrong? Well, today we're going to crack open Daniel Kahneman's incredible book, Thinking Fast and Slow. We're going to explore the hidden machinery of your mind and reveal these two rival systems that are constantly battling for control of your every single thought. All right, let's jump right in with a quick puzzle. Take a look at this. Now, don't overthink it. Just go with the very first answer that pops into your head. You got it? Okay. If you're like most people, and I mean pretty much everyone, the number 10 cents probably just jumped right into your brain. It feels right, doesn't it? It's simple, and it came to you with absolutely zero effort. But the correct answer is actually 5 cents. Think about it. If the ball is 5 cents and the bat is $1 more, that makes the bat $1.05. And together, that's your $1.10. So what just happened there? Why would your own brain feed you the wrong answer so confidently? Well, the secret lies in your mind's two competing systems. That simple little mistake, right there, it reveals the core idea of this whole book. Our thinking is basically a constant tug-of-war between two very different characters living inside our heads. So meet System 1 and System 2. System 1 is kind of the impulsive hero of our story. It's fast, it's automatic, it's totally intuitive. It handles all the effortless stuff, like understanding a simple sentence or reacting to a loud bang. System 2, on the other hand, is the deep thinker. It's slow, it's deliberate, it's logical. It's what you use for complex problems. But here's the catch. System 2 is also incredibly lazy. And most of the time, it's happy to just let the quick but often wrong System 1 take the wheel. You know this feeling. You rely on System 1 when you're driving a route you've taken 1,000 times. You can do it on autopilot, right? But the second you have to solve a math problem, like say 37 times 29, or you have to carefully back your car into a really tight parking spot, you have to wake up your lazy System 2. That feeling of focus, of concentration, that's you putting in the mental work. Now, because System 1 is built for pure speed, it relies on these things called mental shortcuts or heuristics to make instant judgments. The problem is these shortcuts are the source of really predictable errors. We call them biases that create these mental illusions we don't even see coming. All right, just look at this number on the screen. 50 million. Got it? Just hold that number in your mind for a second. Now, is the population of Turkey more or less than 50 million? And what's your best guess of the actual population? Okay, what you just experienced is called the anchoring effect. That number, 50 million, even though it was completely random, acted as a mental anchor. Your brain unconsciously grabbed onto it and pulled your estimate closer to it. The actual population, by the way, is over 85 million. But almost everyone who gets anchored to 50 million guesses way lower. Then you've got the availability heuristic. Our brains have this really simple rule. If you can think of an example easily, it must be common. This is exactly why people get more scared of flying right after seeing news of a plane crash, even though, statistically, driving is way more dangerous. That vivid, scary image of a crash is just so easy to recall that it completely hijacks our sense of logic and tricks us about the real risk. Okay, here's another one for you. Imagine you meet a man. He's quiet, kind of bookish, and he wears glasses. Now, is he more likely to be a librarian or a farmer? Come on, your System 1 is screaming librarian, right? He just fits that stereotype so perfectly. But here's the statistical reality of the situation. There are vastly more farmers in the world than there are male librarians. But System 1 doesn't care about statistics. It just loves a good story, a neat stereotype. So it completely ignores the numbers. Our logical System 2 could check the odds, but it's just too slow and lazy to even get a word in. Now, these mental shortcuts don't just mess with our guesses about the world. They fundamentally shape our choices, especially when there's risk involved. And this is where Kahneman's Nobel Prize-winning work on something called prospect theory comes into play. The central idea here is so simple, but it explains so much about human nature. It's just this. Losses hurt more than gains feel good. I mean, think about it. The happiness you feel from finding $100 on the street is nice, for sure. But the misery you feel from losing $100 from your wallet, it just feels way worse. Often, it's twice as powerful. That's what we call loss aversion. It's why we're so scared to take risks, and it's why we'll hold on to a failing stock just to avoid the pain of making that loss feel real. And to make things even more complicated, Kahneman argues that we aren't just one person making these choices. We're actually two different selves. You've got the experiencing self, which lives in the present moment,
And then there's the remembering self, which is like the storyteller who looks back on everything and makes all our future decisions.
And here is the crazy twist. Your remembering self is a terrible historian. It doesn't care at all how long an experience lasted. Nope, it only cares about the most intense moment, the peak, and how the experience ended. Think about it. You could have a fantastic 2-week vacation that was ruined by a horrible flight home on the very last day. Well, your remembering self might just brand that entire trip a disaster, completely ignoring the 13 amazing days of bliss that came before it.
So, what are we supposed to do with all this? I mean, understanding that our brains are flawed isn't about feeling bad. It's about empowerment. It's about learning how to outsmart our own minds when it really counts.
The strategy is actually pretty simple. You have to learn to recognize the signs that System 1 is taking over. When you feel that instant, automatic, gut reaction answer to a really big decision, that's your signal. That's your cue to just pause. That one moment of hesitation is your golden opportunity to ask yourself, wait a minute, am I being biased here? And then intentionally wake up your slower, more logical System 2.
You know, at the end of the day, we can't just eliminate these biases. They're basically baked into our mental software. But what we can do is become aware of them. Just knowing the common traps our minds fall into is the single most important step to questioning our instincts and making better choices when it truly matters.
Our brains are wired for speed, for efficiency, which means they're always going to want to take the easy, intuitive path. But now that you know about the hidden flaws in that path, the real question is this. The next time you face a critical decision, will you have the discipline to ignore that easy, fast answer and instead choose to think slow?